welcome to another installment of the Jer Show's current events and stuff. I'm clearing my throat because I'm in a basement. It's very hot outside. We're having a serious heat wave right now. Current index is supposed to be like 100 degrees. My computer says 63, but that's not current. I just refreshed it. It's 86 outside, and it's only 12. So the weather service has predicted that in about 2 hours, it's probably going to be 100 degrees. I'm in a basement. It's usually cool in the basement, but for some reason when it's humid, it's not cool in this part of the basement where I am. Not looking forward to that. Let's see. I zoom as much as I can. I think that this, as far as the camera will let me zoom. I want to go this way with the pan. Yeah, that'll work. Current events and stuff. That's the name of the stream today. I'm a musician. I've been a musician most of my life. Pandemic hit me hard. I haven't been playing out a lot, but I have been staying fit, so to speak, with my playing, so that I didn't get rusty. And a lot of times you go on faith, they call it, or it's like doing spec work. Like you're not really getting paid to practice, but you do it so that because you know that someday it's going to pay off. And I've been sitting around for the past couple of weeks, like wondering, like, when is this going to pay off? Because the mind is a great thing, but it can be our own worst enemy too. Like part of me is saying, oh, is this ever going to happen? Am I ever going to play out again? And when that thing starts going, you got to find ways to reframe the thoughts and say, don't worry, I know it seems like it's been a while, but you will play out soon. So last night I'd gone to bed, and I haven't been actively booking because I'm afraid, like, the pandemic is not really over. So I'm afraid that things might get bad again. So I'm afraid to, like, go full force on a booking campaign, only to find out, like, we're going to shut down again. It's a terrible place to be in mentally. So, anyways, I try to, with all this going on, this wondering if I'm going to, play out again ever. And I haven't been booking any shows. Usually people just used to call me, I got a call from a friend of mine last night, and he works at a restaurant, and he knows me because of my background, my music stuff, and he overheard the place that he's been working at. He overheard the owner saying that somebody said, when are we going to have live music again? And they said, well, we'd like to, but we can't find anybody. So my friend said, oh, well, I know somebody, meaning me. So he was calling me last night to tell me that he might have an opportunity, might have a gig for me. And I think that's great, because that goes right in line with the fact that I wasn't playing, and now this could be an opportunity to play. So I realize I have to get organized. I have to get my act together. Like I could just, I had the chance tonight to just go in and meet the people, but I don't think I'm ready. Don't have, I gotta put a set list together. Gotta put a set list of all the songs that I play and that I have been playing. And I'm scattered. I mean, really all I have to do is like, take my book and just flip through it and write the songs down. I mean, I only really need like maybe 20. And then I could say that, you know, there's many more. But I'm realizing like, there's so much work to be done now. Like, and I'm grateful that I have the work even to do. So I have to take a piece of paper and make a list of all the things that I have to do now. And if I'm going to do this, I have to do all this stuff on a regular basis. I have to update the website, update the Facebook page, fucking Instagram, and somebody said I should join TikTok, and somebody said I should join Live Me, and I'm like, you know, I already have 3 platforms already that I stream on, and I don't know if I can deal with another one. Especially when the 3 that I'm streaming on aren't really like paying huge dividends, you know? Like when does it stop? When do people stop streaming on multiple platforms? Like even when I signed up for OBS Prime to stream on Twitch and Facebook and YouTube, like I thought that 3 was a lot. Ultimately, I think the best way to go is to find 1 or 2 or 3, maybe 1 or 2 even, that are working the best, and just kind of go with those. So you have some kind of exclusivity. And the same thing goes with being a musician. Like I could go to this place and sell myself and get the gig. And my friend was like, well, there might be other restaurant owners that go to this place that would hear you too. And I said, well, okay, I could play at 2 different places, but I don't want to play more than that because I can't be everywhere. People start getting mad. If you're good and you bring people in and they spend money and you go play someplace else. I'm not saying that that's happening right now, but it could. So we had this discussion. We had this discussion today about playing in this new place. And the owners are asking the question that a lot of club owners ask: does this person have a following? Meaning me. But it doesn't happen with just me. There's many club owners out there that are thinking about having live entertainment. And that's the first thing they want to know. Do they have a following? Well, here's the deal. Yes, the following does help. But doesn't guarantee that the following will show up. So in a way, this theory of doing things is kind of correct. That yes, if you have a following, they'll follow you. But I know from streaming and being a musician myself, it really is a numbers game. It's a numbers game. Like, if I have 100 followers, that is considered a following. But when I stream, all 100 followers don't follow me. Do you follow me? 2 or 3 might show up. So you have to get, the more followers you have, the better chance you have of someone following you. So now I have to go into this new place and say, I do have a following, but I haven't played out in like a year because of COVID. I've been streaming on Twitch, and I'm dying to get in front of people again. So let's work something out. Let's work out a number that works for both of us. So like, if I were to come into a place and I hadn't played in a year, and people that used to come and see me wanted to come and see me, there's still no guarantee that they would come and see me. So if I offer them a lower rate and say, let's invest, let's do a gig knowing that maybe the first couple of times people won't be there. But what I can guarantee you is that when I play, people will stay, they will enjoy themselves, and some of them will come back. We will be building a following as we go. So we build a following as we go, and it gets promoted. You use Facebook, you use YouTube, Twitch. Those people might not necessarily go to this venue and hear me play. Okay. So the way to promote this would be through the website for the place that I want to go play. The people that follow the place that I play can advertise, hey, you know, Jeremy's playing here from now on. And then it would lead traffic to my page. And then the people that watch my page, I could update that regularly. I'm just saying it has to grow and it has to start someplace. And a lot of club owners won't take a chance on a person because they don't have a following. So what happens is they lie. And I've seen it happen. They lie, they say, oh yes, I have a following. And then when the gig starts and no one's there, they're like, that guy just lied. So what I said to my friend Rick is that, let's tell them I have a following, which I do. So they don't feel robbed if the gig starts and no one's there. At least they're not paying full price, knowing that they're investing in the future for the days that the following will happen. So now I have to take all the songs that I have in the repertoire as a guitarist, singer, guitarist, and add that to the ones that I've been working on during the pandemic as a piano guitar player. And I have to come up with a master list of all the songs that I can perform comfortably in front of people. And then go into this place, you know, after a shower, my hair slicked back, and just, hi, I'm Jeremy, and here's my list. And let's talk, you know, when do you want to start this? And then once I get the date, then I come home and promote it on Facebook and my pages. And so now I have to go look at all my pages that I've made. And kind of like go to them and update those. But I'm afraid, I'm frightened because COVID already shut me down once. And I haven't played out in almost a year. And it's a long time. You lose the whole, the vibe of playing in front of people. And I'm sure I could do it again. I'm sure I'll be okay after like an hour. But it's making me nervous because I haven't even been to an open mic night in over a year. I've sat in this room and in my old room, and I've played and I've sang and I've worked on tunes, and I'm okay with it because it's really just text on the screen that's saying, you know, they like it or they don't like it. And most people on Twitch are they're I don't know what the word is. I want to say forgiving. Most people aren't on Twitch aren't like mean. Like if they don't like your tunes or they don't like what you say, they won't. Once in a while they'll get insulting, but they don't. For the most part, people on Twitch are really cool and they're really accepting and they're very supportive. So like, I think what I've realized is I'm not going to give up one for the other. Which means I'm not just going to go out and play in front of people, live gigs in a brick and mortar place where live people are watching me and give up this Twitch stream. I'm going to find a way to do both. And I'm going to find a way to stream when I do play in the clubs. I'm going to find a way to stream that. So that if I do get a gig and it's outside of this, you know, little square, I'm going to bring my phone with me and I'm going to stream it from wherever I am, which would be cool. So that actually gives a cross promotion to the place that I'm playing at, so that most people that frequent a place regularly don't need a promotion for them to know what it's about. But if it's a new place, like the place that I might be playing at, I don't want to say the name of the place because I don't want to. If I end up not playing there, I don't want it to get out to the public that, you know, I'm playing there and then find out like I'm not playing there, because I'm not going to say the name until I'm actually playing there. But I am in negotiations with a place right now. And it's the first opportunity that I've had in a long time. I was playing. I did have a gig. Before the pandemic happened, I was doing gigs with another musician. It was a duo. We were starting to gain momentum, but we're not talking to each other for some reason, and I don't think it's going to end well. So I've decided that I'm not going to pursue any reparations to have our relationship like it was. I'm going to pursue avenues where I'm just going to do my own thing. I'm just going to be like the Jer Show or whatever. Solo. I can do it, and it's what I've been doing for the past 4 months. I got the keyboard, the PA, the mic, the music, the drum machine, and it's all going to work together. Now I just have to sell it. And it's hard for me, I'm telling you. It's hard for me to sell myself. I have no idea why. It's always been difficult to sell myself. I've been unemployed for almost a year. I've been working on the music, hoping that the music would pay off. And in the meantime, everyone's like, Why don't you just go get a job? Why don't you just get a job? And I'm like fighting that because like, to me, music is a job. Music is difficult. Being a music performer is not an easy thing. If it was, everybody would be doing it, right? But they're not, because some people just don't have the temperament for it. What I'm realizing as I get older is I've always concentrated on the performance aspect of it, but I neglected the promotional aspect of it and the business aspect of it, which I'm just learning now. I'm a late bloomer when it comes to promotion and marketing and those elements of being a musician. So when this guy called me and he's like, hey, can you come over today? I'm like, because I'm nervous. I'm like excited. Like the dream could actually come true. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Getting ready to go talk to these owners. I was just at the website and I was looking at the place, and it's not a huge place. It's big enough though to start, and it has a platform where people sit on. It's like some steps to get up there, and I realized that's where the performer that they want to hire soon, hopefully me, would play. And then you just take the chairs off and put the instruments up there. So it's reminding me that I have a friend, and he doesn't live close to me. We made a deal a while ago with some speakers where I would buy, he had 2 speakers as part of like a PA deal, and I was supposed to get both of them, and I've only gotten one of them so far. So now I have to call him up and say, yo man, can I get that other speaker? Because I think I'm going to be playing out soon. And I'm nervous because at the same time I'm watching the news, and they're saying that this Delta variant of the COVID thing is started to ravage some states. And the guy from Robert, forget his name, from the CDC was saying that this variant, there could be another variant. Now, I'm not ignorant when it comes to viruses and variants and science, and I've been following the whole thing, and I tend to believe this guy at the CDC over what I hear, you know, in some circles. So I'm nervous because they're saying now that even if you're vaccinated, which I am, that maybe you should wear a mask indoors. And I'm thinking, like, is this what's going to happen again? Are all the restaurants going to go back to, you know, masks? Are there going to be mandates? We got a new governor now? You know, are they going to shut the state down like Como did? Or there's all these variants. There's all these factors. Different ways that this scenarios, the ways that this thing could go. And part of me just has to wait and watch. And the way that I've always handled it in the past to keep my sanity is I used to do this thing called the logic tree, right? Logic trees are like, here's your problem, okay? And if yes, go this way. And if no, go that way. You know, it looks like that. So that's what I'm doing over here. I'm like, if COVID, then there'll be no restaurant gig. You know, and then if no restaurant gig, then what? Then Twitch, then more Twitch. And I remember when I first started streaming on Twitch, I did it because of the restaurants and everything were closed down. And Twitch got a real big spike in viewership and musicians that were joining Twitch. So when the restaurants opened back up again in New York, and a lot of the musicians went back to the restaurants, the numbers went down on Twitch. So I was kind of like, geez, maybe I shouldn't stream on Twitch then. Maybe there's just too many people doing it. Maybe or I should keep doing it because maybe I'm almost there, you know. I've been there with my decision making. Like, should I stay or should I go? So then I decided, all right, maybe I'll just give it a break, see what happens. But I'm realizing today that, like, you can't take too much of a break. If you take too much of a break from something, it deteriorates. It's like a muscle. Like, if I were to sit on my ass during the COVID thing and not done anything musically and not played my guitar and not went over songs and not try to keep my voice in shape, I wouldn't be, that was my biggest fear when COVID hit, is that stuff would open back up again and I wouldn't be ready. But luckily for me, I was constantly like playing and constantly, even though I didn't have a gig, I was constantly playing, I was constantly singing, and I was constantly like trying to learn new stuff. And I think it's good finally paying off to the point where like now I might have a gig now. And I don't have to say, well, you know, give me a couple weeks because I ain't ready. I've been ready. So, like, playing the songs and singing the songs are not the problem. The problem is talking to people at the gig. Because that's something I haven't been doing in like years. I've been talking to people on Twitch. Somebody might type something and I'll talk back to them. But I don't get enough people talking and what's the word? Interactions. I don't have enough interactions with people to practice, so it's going to feel weird going back out in public and after being like a basement dweller for months, to actually like go out and smile and play and talk to people and go, hey, how's it going? What song you want to hear? We talked about a bunch of stuff, me and my friend Rick. Like there's a balance that somebody might want to have if they're a performer. Like when I put my set list together, it's in order for a reason. There's a happy song, there's a sad song, there's an upbeat song, there's a slow song, there's songs that I have to do first because it warms the voice up, so that when you're like deep into the set list and the voice starts to warm up, and then I can do real acrobatic singing that I can't do at the beginning of the set. That's all a science, and I try to stick to that for the most part. If somebody requests a song, I'll try to put it in there if I know, but I won't play a song if I don't fully know it. It's like a rule I have. Because I don't want anybody ever to be like, that he did a shitty version of that. I'd rather just say I can't. I just don't know it enough. This stream is called Current Events, okay? Not just my musical current events, but political current events, things like that. I've been watching a lot of news lately, and I'm seeing that one of the biggest problems that we have right now in the country is some people don't want to get vaccinated. I can't understand it because I didn't have the hesitancy. There's actually a term called vaccine hesitancy, and it means people that are hesitant to get the vaccine. I suppose I'm a really trusting person. I will trust something until it hurts me, which is probably helping me in this case. So when the vaccines came out, I wasn't like, I ain't taking that. I did have some trust that it had gone through many trials before it was put on the market. But when it came to getting one, I had more people around me saying, you should get a vaccine, you should get a vaccine. When are you getting your vaccine? When are you getting your vaccine? And I realized they were nudging me to get it done. And I do appreciate that. My answer to them at the time was, I'm not in a hurry. I live in upstate New York. The number of cases that were in upstate New York were lower than the rest of the country. So I'm not nervous about getting COVID from the people that I hang with. I'm nervous about getting COVID from people I don't know, because the odds of that are higher. So I live in a spot where there's a major store that I go to a lot. Walmart, or even the ones around it, like big grocery stores, Hannaford, Price Chopper. Those are the places that make me nervous, because a lot of people come upstate from other areas to go on vacation. I live right south of Lake George, New York, and Lake George, New York is a hot spot for vacationers. So if all these mandates got lifted and people are like, oh great, we don't have to wear masks if we're vaccinated, I knew that there was a lot of people that were going to say, I'm vaccinated, just because they don't want to wear a mask anymore. So I figured if I go to a Walmart with a bunch of people up on 4th of July weekend that are a mixed bag of people, you know what I mean? Some of them are going to be legit vaccinated. Some of them are going to be lying. 50-50 probably, split right down the middle maybe. So I have a 50% chance from people coming in out of the area that could possibly infect me, even though I have been vaccinated twice with both doses. I would still wear a mask. And there's cases all over now, new cases of people getting COVID even though they're vaccinated. And that's okay with me because no one ever said the vaccinations would stop COVID. What they said was, if you get COVID, your case won't be as severe. And that's why I got the vaccination. Now there's a Delta variant and possibly another version that could be worse. I believe this. I believe that if people would get vaccinated, we wouldn't have a worse variant. And if we did, they would be immune somewhat to it so that it wouldn't keep affecting everybody. So I say this great news today to maybe possibly get out and play, but I have this bad feeling that it's only going to be short-lived. That because people don't want to get vaccinated, I could actually get this game, and I could start building it, and I think it would get shut down again because people don't want to get vaccinated. And it's sad. I don't know what to do other than say, I got vaccinated and I didn't have any side effects. I got a little tired, my arm hurt, but that was it. I can't say that it made me crazy because I was crazy before the vaccine. So I don't want to vaccine shame people and be like, you should get the vaccine, because if you don't want to get it, you don't want to get it, and I understand. But I'm just trying to say, like, if there was proof that it wouldn't hurt you, and that it wasn't some conspiracy where they were putting microchips into you or whatever, like the crap conspiracies that are going around, if I could, maybe you don't trust me, I don't know. All I can say is my experience says that I got the Moderna, and I haven't had any bad things happen from it. I feel safer around people. I don't completely feel completely safe around people. I still wear my mask in some places. Like I said, if I go to the grocery store, I'll wear it, because I don't know where these people come from. And I remember at the beginning of the pandemic, that's what it was all about. What have you been doing? Where have you been lately? Have you traveled to China? And luckily I didn't. But when it was here, and it was coming in from other places. And that's how New York got it. So you're not going to stop people from coming in from other places. And you're not going to make them wear masks if they don't want to. So knowing that, I'm just going to protect myself, wear the mask now and then. And I haven't gotten sick. I didn't even have the flu in the wintertime. I didn't even have the flu. And I used to get upper respiratory sickness every year, almost without fail. And I was looking forward to having something that would make me sick where I'd have to go to the doctor. And I didn't even get it that year, because I was wearing a mask. Anyway. I think I'm gonna like this new musical life that I've kind of carved out for myself. The old me, the old musician life that I used to have was like bars, drunk people, this new life is like, this place I might play is like, it's sort of a high-end, sort of expensive restaurant where I'm sure they won't let people get trashed. And it's an early night. It's like maybe 6 to 10 or 7 to 10. It could be a 3 or 4 hour gig. I don't know. But mostly what I know about gigs like this is a happy hour crowd, there's a dinner crowd, and then there's a late crowd. And the late crowd likes it a little bit louder. The dinner crowd likes it a little soft. So I happen to have a set list that covers all of that. I have the first hour, I can be real soft. Little Elton John, Tiny Dancer maybe. And then as the night goes on, kind of kick in, play it louder. Current events, it's like a video blog, I guess I'm kind of doing. This stream that I'm doing right now, this current events. I'm talking about the pandemic, talking about my music career starting to take off. I'm talking about I'd like to talk about Rocket League right now, okay? I loved the game. I fell in love with it. I didn't expect people to watch me play Rocket League on Twitch, but they were, because I was getting pretty good at it. And then like a couple weeks ago, I got really upset at the ranking system. Like enough, I was so upset about it that I deleted the game. And I wasn't going to cancel it and say, we're done. I knew it was making me upset, and I didn't want to get upset. I don't want to do a rage stream. I'm not a rage streamer, okay? I'm a chill vibe kind of guy, you know? So it was making me rage. And I was able to make the connection between the game making me rage. If I want to stop raging, you stop playing the game. So I deleted it for a little while. I wanted to make an announcement that I did it, but I didn't want the announcement to sound like I was some kind of, narcissistic fool that just goes on and talks about how they're quitting a game. Because people do that all the time. They go into forums, they're like, I'm quitting Rocket League. I just want everyone to know I'm quitting. And they were like, all right, bye. I figured I would get the same reaction from that. So I just did a quick one. I said, I'm putting down Rocket League for a short time. So a couple days went by. I started to miss it. It was like breaking up with a girlfriend, you're like, I miss you. Even though we're not good together, I might just text you in the middle of the night, say, hey, I've been thinking about, playing you again. And so yesterday I started to download it again. I figured I'll give Rocket League another chance. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because we all have friends that we talk to when we need to be consoled, when we're having bad times. You go to certain friends and I had a rough day. Well, that's what I was doing, and I was talking about Rocket League. I was like, yeah, I quit that game. And they're like, why? Why? What happened? The ranking system's terrible. Meaning that I would spend hours, literally hours, up late at night trying to master this game. And I was getting better. I was doing really good. I went from silver to gold, and I thought I was gonna stay in gold and keep climbing, and people would see me in platinum and be like, wow, this guy's really good, and I started to write down the stats of the game, because the best players in the world at anything are people that keep stats. You know what I mean? Like the best poker players, you see them in a room, they got like a lab going on. They're like, well, here's my last 20 hands I played, and I won 45% of them, and why did I lose? Because I folded when I should have played, and like there's a whole science behind getting better at a game. And Rocket League for me, I had no books. I was trying to see why I was good, why I was bad, what I was good at, what I wasn't good at. So I started writing down, like I'd say, August 4th, I'm going to play Rocket League. And the result was I won. Then the next game, Rocket League, I lost because somebody quit. And then the third time it's because I won. And then the fourth time it was because somebody quit. And after a while I started to see a pattern. I said, my rank keeps dropping because people keep quitting. I was like, I have no control over people quitting a 5-minute match before it's over. But yet, my rank is dropping. And to me that wasn't acceptable. And I was like, you know what, Rocket League? Fuck you too. And I just deleted it. So my buddy stops by the other day and he's like, hey, are you going to play Rocket League? And I'm like, no, I'm not. And you know what? I'm going to tell you why. Because the ranking thing sucks. And you know what sucks about this ranking league system is when somebody quits a match, there's no punishment. That's what's wrong with it. There's no incentive to not quit a match. It's too easy to do. So until they fix it, I'm not playing Rocket League anymore. So last night, I'm lying in bed trying to go to sleep, flipping through my phone, which I probably shouldn't, and there is an article, the new Rocket League update, and then people are not liking it. So automatically I'm like, see, I'm not crazy. Rocket League sucks. See, I'm not the only one. There's a whole article devoted to. So before I figured I didn't want to judge it, prejudge it. Let me at least read. Even though I have a little bias, let me at least read and see what Rocket League has to say, what the people have to say about the new update before I start playing it again. So one thing I noticed, I was very happy about. They now have punishments. I don't know what they are, but you will now be punished if you leave a ranked match early. I was like, finally. Obviously, I'm not the only one that has felt a little anger, a little disdain against this rule, or where there should be a rule and there's not. So I was like, all right, cool. The only problem is they went the other way and they totally flipped where you can't leave a casual match. You'll get punished for leaving a casual match. And everyone's like, what? That doesn't make sense. To quote a phrase from Dodgeball, that makes about as much sense as a poopy flavored lollipop. So now people are like, great, you fixed this, but you screwed that up. So some people are okay with it, some people are not. And I'm realizing that that's the way of the world, that's the way of things. Some things work for some people, some things don't work for other people. I'm going to give you an example. Speaking of current events, which I'm speaking about today in the stream of current events. Because I'm a musician that works part-time, that can't make a living just playing music, I do have a part-time gig, a side hustle, if you will. I deliver for this company called Spark. Spark is kind of like DoorDash or Grubhub or Uber Eats. The whole concept behind it is you have a phone, I have a phone, which I just got a brand new phone the other day. Switched carriers. I was on Total Wireless and I was getting really bad dropouts in the basement. And I couldn't talk to people. And it's sad because this company, Total Wireless, went from a really good company to like poop. And like the last 2 weeks, the calls have been dropping. I can't make a call. I'm not getting text messages. So I bought a new phone. It's called Moto. Moto is a pretty good brand of phone. It's the Moto Play. One of the great couple features that it has is it's a dual camera. Look at that, baby. It's called a smart camera because it works with two lenses somehow, and the pictures are better. It's a better camera. Not only that, it's a bigger phone, so when it comes to texting, my vision is I'm farsighted. I'm not nearsighted. I'm farsighted, and I can see things far away. But when it comes to things up close, I have trouble, unless I have my glasses. So I have to wear these goofy glasses just to see up close, right? So the benefit of the phone being bigger is that I don't struggle with when I'm texting. I can actually hit the key that I want to hit and not hit a key because my finger's too big. Like the buttons are actually bigger. So you have a better camera, better texting, better coverage. That's on AT&T. So what I realized is before I moved in April, when I lived in my old place, this phone was fantastic. This phone, I bought it because I was having dropouts in my old place, and the Total Wireless company had better coverage over there. When I moved here, I kept having dropouts, and I was like, I don't really want to buy another phone. I don't really want to switch carriers, but I'm gonna have to. And I did, and I bought this Moto Play. And the beauty of it is, I talked to a couple of my friends that I play Xbox with, and they're like, really? You pay $30 on a prepaid for AT&T? And I'm saying, yeah. So now they're thinking about switching too, because it might work better for them. So good things are happening. Got a new phone with a new carrier, with a new camera. I spent an hour and a half on the phone with AT&T because their call center is overwhelmed. And they were like, you may experience long wait times. 45 minutes is a long goddamn wait time. I called the first time, I was on the phone for half an hour, and then we got disconnected. And I'm like, and now I have to call back. So it took another 45 minutes. When all was said and done, I was happy. But it took a while to. But there it is, working now. It's 90 degrees outside, according to this phone. That's not exactly pleasant. I hope if you're watching this, you're indoors in the air conditioner, because it's like a heat wave out there. But anyways, so possible new gig, new phone. What else is new? Is anybody out there watching this? Anything new? Good? Anything good? New? New? Good? Good and new? Sometimes I think I scare people away. It's a weird feeling, but it's like, I come on here, I talk, people stop by, they look, they see me talking, nobody's just like, hey, what, you know, I know too, I got a new phone, and they don't, they just, and they leave. It's like, did I say something wrong? Am I creepy? Do I have bad breath? Why doesn't no one talk to me? I don't get it. I really don't. Maybe my content sucks. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, forever be trying to figure it out. But all I know is it's effing hot out. I can feel the humidity right now. Just sweating. I don't have a pool, so I might have to like just go upstairs and like fill the bathtub up with cold water and just pretend it's a pool. Like maybe just get a little beach ball and hop it around or something. It's the Jared Show. The Jared Show. I'm streaming on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. And what does that mean? I don't know. It means I'm spreading it out. Spreading the insanity out into the world. On 3 different platforms. I use OBS software, right? And I'm subscribed to this. It's called Prime. And it lets you simultaneously stream on Twitch and Facebook and YouTube. So I'm thinking like I'd put the logos up there, because you don't know which one is gonna have the most success. And anyways, what I'm saying is like I can be a dumbass sometimes. Like when you first sign in and you go to make the stream live, it gives you choices. It'll say, do you want to stream on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube? And I think at first I loved it because I could reach a wider audience that way. But after a while, I was just like, I don't know. So I cut back on streaming to 2 of the other ones, the Facebook and the YouTube. And I was just doing Twitch for a while. So I signed in today and I said, well, maybe I'll start multi-streaming again. And there's these 2 check boxes. And you tell your software what platforms you want to stream on. Well, all you do is click it, and it's like a little switch. And I was looking at it for like a week saying like, oh, maybe my Prime subscription ran out because I'm not able to stream to Facebook and YouTube anymore. And then I just realized, like, all I had to do was click it back over. I'm on the website trying to figure out how to speak to Prime about my subscription. Then all I had to do was click it. Big dummy. 5 viewers. I'm saying hi to the 5 viewers. What's going on today? It's the Jer Show. We're having a heat wave here in upstate New York. It's I was actually heat warnings this morning. Warnings to stay hydrated and to stay out of the heat as much as you can, because it can make you sick. And I got people I know, they're out working on their sheds and stuff, and I'm like, dude, I hope you got a fan out there, because you won't be working on it for very long now, will you? Like, seriously, weather like this in upstate New York, I'm not telling people they should stop doing whatever they're doing, but at least know that when it's this hot, you don't have to be Superman. Like, you could do a little bit and then come out and get in, like, jump in the pool, or go inside where the AC is, or take a cold towel and put it on your head or whatever. And then go back out and do some more, but don't. And weather like this, it's 96, it's going on, it's headed into the 100-degree mark. You don't have to be a superhero. I was gonna mow the lawn today, and I'm like, nope. Too TFH, too effing hot. That's my excuse. It's TFH. So I'm talking about current events and new things. This behind me, this thing, this is new. This is a piece of fabric that I paid a lot of money for, that I wanted to sit in front of, because in the past, I have so many things in my room. People would watch a stream and they would be like, what's that? What's that? And there's just so much to look at. It's like a hidden object game, you know? And I just said, no more. So, you know, me being a male that's somewhat masculine, I don't often find myself enjoying fabrics. Not a regular thing I do. Well, my mom had suggested it to me, because my mom, being, you know, a woman that plays with fabrics and typewriters, sewing machines, all of her life, so I went in to Joann's Fabrics for the first time, and I was just overwhelmed, just fabrics and different brands and different types, and I was just like, oh my God. Just, what I realized, that the best thing that I could have done was basically just feel it, like instinct, like walk by something and say, I think that's the one, and just kind of like pull it out and leave it, and then go around and find maybe like 5 more, and just then pick out of the 5. And that's what I did. So I finally, the stuff that was going through my head, it was like, let's see, I got brown skin, and I have salt and pepper hair, and what would be the best thing to put against that, and there's a contrast, and I can't have brown, and what if I have blue and orange, and it just got so overwhelming that I finally found this. It reminds me of stone. It's like marble. It's like a marble, marble-ish design. So I went with that. It's not bad. And then the other night I was watching somebody, one of the people I follow on Twitch, and he had this really nice logo. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should do a logo. Like this thing above me that says The Jer Show, I kind of like it, but it's kind of plain Jane. So I did a little searching on the internet. I wanted to find a graphics software program. And I don't have a background in graphics. But I have a real deep interest in photography and maybe after you take a picture to be able to enhance with the software, you know what I mean? And there's expensive software and there's not so expensive software. There's free stuff. Well, I didn't want to get a free one. So I decided on a company called Corel, which is a pretty reputable company. They had a Photoshop 2021, or it's not the new one, but I downloaded that the other day and it worked pretty good. And I thought maybe I bought the wrong one because when you go into the main menu and you're searching through the program, there's that actual, you can click on different settings. Like if you just want to work on pictures, you click on the photography section. I didn't realize that you had to click it again to get to the text section. So there's actually a very impressive text feature in there. So what you do when you make a logo, instead of taking the text and putting it on an existing picture, you just do a blank canvas, kind of how I did this, and then you put the font on there. And this is just a basic, but with the graphics design thing, you can make something that's not so basic. And that's what I'm going to be doing in the next couple of days. I'm going to find some fonts that work and some colors that work, and I'm gonna upgrade this. I might not even do like the Jer Show banner over the top like I have now. I might just get a smaller picture and then make a little one, kind of like the ones that are here. It might be just a small one in the corner, like maybe over there in that corner. So Fortnite, I want to talk about Fortnite right now. That's another game that I almost gave up on, but I stuck with it, and I've been having somewhat fun with it lately. We're doing the Superman challenges right now. I was a little confused at first, like with most new things in Fortnite, and rightly so. I didn't know how to get the Clark Kent skin, but once you read it a little bit more, it says there's certain quests that you have to do. And I made a mistake of thinking you just had to talk to these guys, just press X, interact, and then boom. That's not considered a quest, that's just talking to them. There's actual quests that you have to do. Once you talk to them, you have your choice between like quests and just getting something. you actually have to find a quest and do it. And that's what I was missing at first. But I figured it out eventually, as I do most things, the wrong way first, and then I fix it. You have to shoot an alien, and my first thought was, aliens are like in Holly Hatchery. But apparently, you know those little parasites that fly around that are in the little green pods there that pop out everywhere? Those parasites are considered aliens. Good to know. So I got 3 of the 5 done to get the Clark Kent skin. And then once you get the Clark Kent skin, then you can do the other stuff. So I'm on my way to getting the Clark Kent skin so I can get the Superman one. At the same time, all these people are trying to kill you, so it's interesting. I noticed last night everybody was, it seemed like a whole lot of people were trying to talk to Clark Kent, and there's another dude there. So it was challenging, competing with all these people that are trying to do the same thing. That was Fortnite. What have I not touched on so far? I've talked new music gig, maybe. Oh, okay. I just thought of something that's new in my life. There's a game called Wreckfest. I love it. I just started playing it a couple weeks ago. I love it for a number of reasons. One is I love racing games. 2, it reminds me of Forza, either Horizon or Motorsport. And there's a demolition element to it, which means you can smash cars or you can get your car smashed. And I've been playing the solo, challenges, quest, the career mode, and it's been fun. And just last night I decided that I was going to go do the multiplayer. And I gotta tell you, it's fun, but I got smashed so quick that it almost wasn't fun. Like you start the race, everything's great, and then bang, I'm out of the race like that. 2 of them in a row. I'm like, what the hell? And I'm guessing the game will become more fun. If I can figure out how not to get wrecked. But there is no way to figure out how not to get wrecked because everybody gets wrecked. And I used to drink a lot, so at least I'm getting wrecked digitally in the car game instead of, getting wrecked. So when I play Wreckfest, the title of my stream usually is I'm going to get wrecked. Is that clever enough to make people pop in? I don't know. Wreckfest. We're talking about Wreckfest right now. Wreckfest is a new game I've discovered. Everybody has their own games. I think, me being a musician, I know that I play certain instruments because it fits my personality, and I'm not good at other instruments. And I think with gaming, it's no different. I think gaming, people find the game that's like their game, that they're good at, and then other people have games they're not good at. I mean, Rocket League's a good example. I love Rocket League. I'm pretty decent at it. I talk to other friends about it, and they're like, no, I can't play Rocket League. Tried it, not good at it. Can't figure out the car. Whereas I did, and I like it. Same goes with, like, you know, Modern Warfare. It's not really my jam. Other people swear by it. They love it. It's their favorite game. I like Wreckfest. I was going to expose the chat to a little Wreckfest. I gotta see my Rocket League on. It took me a half a day just to download the thing. But now, I might have to wait for the update. Nope. Cool. All right, I gotta show a little bit of Wreckfest. This is a game that I just discovered that I love. I love it! It might not be your cup of tea. But I love it. It's basically racing and demolition derby. And you know, I'm from upstate New York, and it's fair season, and it kind of reminds me of like what you'd see at a fair, where these local guys just take all these older cars and they drop engines into them, and they don't care what happens because they're gonna wreck into each other. That's what it reminds me of. Like a local demolition derby or something. If I could suggest anything to Wreckfest to enhance the game, it would be let the people that play it, let them pick their own numbers. Like, I got a friend Gabe that races, and 26, that's his number. Well, you can't, it's not like you can go to your car and say, all right, I want number 26 on the side. Like, they give you what they give you. There's 17, and that's the one I'm stuck with. Even with the paint shop, you can't pick your number. You see, it picks it for you. There's 415 and 68. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. But not today! Yeah. Love this game. Love that! I love that! Anyway. I've been yapping for like an hour and 20 minutes now. Jesus. Haven't I run out of things to say? I've been talking for an hour and 20 minutes now. Friend of mine. Hello? Hello? Yes? Yes, he has many personalities. Kind of like this other guy I know who calls himself Mick Lixon sometimes. Then you're going back to Manhattan. A swim. Nice. So you're like a swimmer. Yeah, well, I can actually relate